There's a threat in the world today. A threat to our way of living, a threat to our society, and maybe even a threat to our very existence. And what is this threat?
I am the ass. You are the one. Black and white sports, folks. Look at that segue.
That might have been the most terrible segue to nothing.
No. You had one a few weeks ago, and it just kind of dropped off. So I'm just trying to equal. We're trying to be equal here, folks.
So
What?
let me ask a question.
Yes.
John, you a basketball guy. All right. Who do you think fared best in the trade by the trade deadline or all the moves for the trade deadline on Thursday?
Okay, so he said Raptors, obviously. Probably. Sixers, if they can gel together. Right. So, okay, so is this kind of like the Pistons of the early 2000s?
Who?
The Sixers.
No.
They're a lot better talent-wise. I'm saying it's
the opposite of that.
Well,
yeah. They were being more
the Pistons
like
did play. I'm talking Blazers. Was it the Blazers? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I would say this Pacer team favors that Piston team. It's like you get these guys on separate.
Back then,
you put these guys on separate teams, they're not stars, but you put them all together and you see what they do.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Because Rip wasn't that great in New Jersey.
But you still had at that time. You had what?
No, Rasheed was.
You had Rasheed.
Hey, Rasheed was a beast everywhere.
What was the big boy's name? Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah, Ben Wallace. I mean, he was a beast anyway too. But yeah, Rasheed,
but he was. But they were really nothing other than Rasheed.
That was the old school way of playing basketball right there.
Hey, Rasheed could have went down as probably the best. Could have. He had all the talent to be the best power forward of all time. Rasheed was that nice. He was like one of the first big men that shot the long range jump shot with consistency.
Hey man, we're only 5 points down, folks. Look at that. Pacers only down 5 points now, 55-50, third quarter, 10 minutes left. So I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, so I would say this Pacer team favors how that Piston team played. The early the Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, that team. But I don't.
Why do I think Ray Allen was in the Heat at that time? Right?
No, Ray Allen was in Milwaukee
at that time.
Yeah, okay. He was in Milwaukee.
Why did I think he?
Because Kevin Garnett was still in Minnesota and Paul Pierce was in Boston.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay.
No, it was it? Or was it Seattle, Milwaukee?
I'm watching the Pacer game, folks. He's talking over here.
And then he went to Seattle because he was in Seattle for Durant's rookie year. No, he was gone.
He was at the Lakers, right?
Yeah. Right.
And then he went to –
No, he went to Boston. He was a part of the first big three.
Yeah.
And then Miami.
The big three at that time was him and
Grant
Baby.
and
Wasn't Baby?
It was Grant. I mean, it was Garnett and Paul Pierce.
Okay, Paul Pierce. That's right.
Who is not really that great of an analyst.
Well, let's not talk about analysts because I'll talk about Jason Witten and I'll bury that guy. I could talk more stuff about that.
I'm a little upset that ESPN parted ways with Charles Woodson.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
I know you're not happy.
Hey, man, Charles Woodson was decent. Yeah, he was a Heisman Trophy winner for New York State, Michigan.
He was, yeah.
Hmm?
Is that where he went? Really?
Who, Woodson? Wow.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know he was from Indiana. I thought he was from Ohio.
Really?
Who? No, Charles Woodson.
Oh, man.
Oh, because I was like, Charles Woodson's from
was over here
Ohio.
getting us all riled up, man.
Yeah, it was like, hold on, man.
Yeah, no, he went to Michigan.
What?
That's good.
Well, man, you know what? Whatever, bro. We're not even gonna do that. We're not gonna do that because the order of cornerbacks as it goes is Deion, Woodson, and everybody else. Charles, not Rod. Charles. Even though Rod was a Steeler, but we go with Charles.
Do we want to talk about the Steelers? You want to talk about the Steelers?
Me personally, I don't think they're rebuilding.
How are you not?
Because how are we? You got a number one receiver now. We have a number one receiver. Matter of fact,
there went your franchise running back.
Because
there went your franchise
and we filled in.
Receiver.
We filled in running back.
Your franchise
and we filled in receiver.
Franchise quarterback is on his way out.
Listen, we filled in the franchise receiver the same year.
Ooh,
Juju Smith took over the number one season last year. So
but he's not Antonio Brown.
But he's Juju Smith.
Okay, but you're only gonna get Big Ben for what? Maybe 1.
You got him on contract for 2 more years.
Okay, I seen John. I think it was put about Kyler Murray. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Kyler.
He should have went to baseball.
I want to talk about Kyler. Man, I totally agree. Should
have went to baseball.
Yeah, you won the Heisman. Okay, I get that. Let that be your pinnacle of football. Save your body and go to baseball, man.
Trivia question.
Yo.
Trivia question. You got 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock. Trivia question.
3 minutes.
Who is the last Heisman
Why don't
Trophy?
you give everybody time to Google
it. You're an asshole.
Pulled the answer out before the question was out.
Everybody but John. Who is the last Heisman Trophy winner not to play in the NFL? Go.
Can I answer?
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the draft.
No, he wasn't. So while we give you the 3 minutes to Google it, because Damon gave you way too much time, I'm going to talk about Stadium Tavern, 802 Southwest Street, Indianapolis, Indiana, every Wednesday night, 7:30 live on Facebook. You can check us out all over the place at bwsports1.com.
All over the place.
Yeah, all over the place at one place. You know what I'm saying? That burned his nose right there.
That is no. It was just tickleful.
No.
So who's up? Who's up? Anybody?
All right.
Anybody?
I'm gonna cut the time off.
You got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
John, don't answer it.
30 seconds.
I'm biting my tongue, not answering
30
myself.
seconds.
That was wrong.
What'd you say? You answered yesterday. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
This is right here is a true BW Sports 1 fan.
Yeah, he's
right
on
here.
it. He's on it.
He is John Wayne
Buzzer.
I love that button.
So, but John and I go way back. John and I go way back. I've known John. I've known John
way back.
Know John for a little over 10 years. Well, I mean, yeah, so it's been a minute. Yeah.
So you've known him longer than you've known me. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, no, about right at the same time.
Our exes were best friends.
Ah. Nice way.
And then there and
all right.
And then that's it. That's as far as we go.
So John Wayne Buzzard, I want to hear the answer as to the question that Damon put out, 3 minutes ago. Give you time to Google.
And it's been just about 3 minutes. It's been just about 3 minutes.
John Wayne Buzzard, what is the answer to the question?
Who was the last Heisman Trophy winner not to play in the NFL?
John Wayne. Who was it?
Charlie
Ward, Florida State Seminole.
He was drafted by the New York Knicks.
Yep.
Yeah,
he did.
I mean, he was in the league for about 10. I think he lasted that 10 years. I think he lasted 10.
Wasn't he on the team that the Pacers and the Knicks went at it in the conference finals?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mid 90s, right? Because
Yeah, it was mid
on,
90s.
he was a quarterback of Florida State in 93 when they won the national title, when Notre Dame should have really won it.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't
Yes.
doubt me on that.
Yes.
Don't doubt me on
Yes.
that. Chuck Love,
And
yeah,
I did
I
not.
I
did not vote. I did not go for Florida State on that.
You didn't vote? Oh, you had a
I
say
did not,
in it?
I did not go for
in
Florida State in that.
93 when you was in the
I was cheering for the Golden Domers. Who was your quarterback? Was that Rice?
Meyer.
Rick Meyer?
Yes. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been Bettis. Not with Rick
Bettis
Meyer.
was 90. Bettis was 90.
Bettis was with Tony White.
Man,
Was
Rice.
Bettis was earlier.
He was he came out in 92. No. Bettis came out in 92. So this was the year out. Yeah, Meyer was still there.
Yeah, I don't know. We might have to look that up. I don't think Bettis was there
I'm telling you.
because
No, I'm not saying Bettis was there in 93. I'm saying Bettis came out in 92. Meyer was still there. Because Meyer
I
was a year or two behind Ron.
Bettis' quarterback was black.
At the beginning, it was Tony Rice.
That's what I thought his quarterback was, Tony Rice.
At the beginning, it was Tony Rice. Because he didn't get a title. Bus didn't get a title in 88, right? I think he came in 89. I don't know.
Pacers have the lead.
Look at that, folks. 59-58.
It's a big game, though. This big game.
Man, I'll tell you what.
For the Eastern Conference, this is a big game.
I said that earlier.
I do.
I said that
You
earlier. Why
did.
didn't you just concur?
Because no one was
concur,
listening to you, ass. I concur. I concur.
Say that again, John. 90. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was after the 92 season.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. 'Cause he was drafted by the Rams.
Though?
Who was the quarterback?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, he was.
Okay.
It was mine.
Cool.
Yeah, because I'm sitting at my grandma and grandpa's living room watching this Florida State Notre Dame game that year, and I remember Uncle Tony jumping up when we tipped the ball down.
So glad his name wasn't Tom.
No, no, it's Anthony. I'm sorry. You know how Sicilians like the name Anthony,
Tony.
Michael, Paul. You know,
Tony.
I'm Daniel.
It was Tony.
You know?
Daniel.
It's
Tony.
Tony. I remember him jumping up, going yeah, and nailing his hand on the overhead ceiling fan and the light, and he busted the light all up. It was funny as hell. Next week, Boston College kicks a field goal to win the game, beat us. And then at that time, there was no playoffs. There was no nothing. And they gave it. They didn't even give us a portion of it. Like, what was it? Tennessee and Michigan did one?
No, it was Nebraska.
Nebraska, okay. Where they split the title.
Oh, my God.
They didn't even give it the title. They gave it all to Florida State and said, here you go.
That was the most
One lost teams. Notre Dame beat Florida State, lost to Boston College. Florida State lost to Notre Dame, and – yeah, that was it. And they win. Oh, I was shitty. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, I was pretty upset in 1997 as well with the Michigan-Nebraska because
who was that?
That was Tom Osborne's last.
No, who was their quarterback? Was it Eric?
For who?
Eric
Frost.
Was it Frost? Nebraska's?
No. It was
Eric Cook, wasn't it? Who?
No, it wasn't Freeze. I mean, it wasn't Frost.
No.
It was the black guy.
Yeah, the black guy.
What was his name? Quarterback for Nebraska. Because I remember the play. Because I remember Curb Street talking about.
Who'd you say?
Frazier, Tommy Frazier.
There you go.
Tommy Frazier. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, it was Tommy Frazier. Because I remember the play. He got hit by all 11 players on defense, and he still scored. Yeah. Oh, but then he didn't get drafted because he had a blood clot. He had a blood clot in his leg, and he didn't get drafted. I remember that. And it was Osborne's last year.
And since then,
And
Nebraska's
Michigan,
football
and
has
that was
went
the
to
year.
crap.
That was the year Charles Woodson won the Heisman, and the starting quarterback was TV analyst. His dad went to Greasy. His dad went to Purdue.
Bob Greasy.
Bob Greasy.
Brian. No,
It was
Rob.
Brian Greasy, but his dad went to Purdue. Bob Greasy.
Yep.
He was the quarterback, and Tom Brady was the third string quarterback.
And
was
why he's a
drafted.
Patriot
And
fan,
was
folks.
drafted in the
Because he's dangling off of Tom Brady.
Boom, not a Patriot fan. That would be Chuck.
He went to Michigan. I love him so much.
So, and then because what
No
it was, because
no denying.
we beat.
That
I think it
you're
was. I think it was Washington who we beat in the Rose Bowl, and then we ended up splitting it because it was Osborne's last year. He was retiring. I remember that. That was
At
crap.
least you got a split.
And that was the last time that Michigan's been anywhere close to the national championship.
Yeah, because you got Harbaugh that can't win a big game just like Brian Kelly can't.
They just can't win a big game against a real team.
Well, we beat you.
Didn't I just say we can't win a game against a real team?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So I don't understand where the conversation. I don't know where it came from.
I just want to throw it out there. You know?
Shut up, Dan.
Oh, here, I'll let you know. Here, go.
Shut up, Dan. But anyway, so what up? 8:30. What's up?
That was weak.
It was because you like so quick with the button. So
Stadium Tavern, 802 Southwest Street, Indianapolis. The one, the ass, black and white sports, coming to you every Wednesday night live, 7:30. BWSports1.com. Check us out. We have our new friend, Leanna Lancaster, GM of Dick's Last Resort here, hanging out with us tonight.
Isn't that the restaurant where the waiters or the servers got to be politically correct?
I don't know. I wish the GM would come out on the mic real quick and just give herself a little, that's what we do. This is what the environment is, blah, blah, blah. I wish she would come over here and do that, but she's not catching it. Here she comes, folks. Come over here. Come here. Welcome her.
Welcome.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Hey, I don't know what Dan's doing. He just left you. So, yeah. So,
okay. Dick's Last Resort.
Oh, yeah, Dick's Last
There you
Resort. Come, we're serviced with sarcasm and fun and sass and attitude, and it's a lot of fun. We got lots of beer, cold beer, hot food. What more do you need?
right, and her.
And funny hats. We have fun hats. Yes, we have everything.
All right, awesome. I haven't been. I heard about it. I haven't been there, but I've heard about it.
You have to come.
All right.
You guys will
I think we will.
They're gonna come. They're gonna come. They're coming.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, and there he is. That was it. That's all you needed. In and out. Yeah, that was it. So, way to go. All right, now moving on.
Yeah.
So, our question that we were talking about before we did our promotionals.
Yes. Was
the best trade. The best trade. The team that won.
Yep.
Right now, to me, I have a tie in teams. Well, no, not a tie. I got a 1, and then I got a 1A.
So this is kind of like listening to Wingo's top 5 power rankings when he's got 9 teams in it.
Right.
But go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, I lost myself.
Yeah, you did.
Philly is who I think won the trade deal.
If it gels,
they unloaded an unnecessary risk, so to speak.
Yeah.
And Marquez Folk, obviously they liked him.
I mean, they were talking about
was
him
a good guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, obviously they liked him. Obviously, he's a good personality. I'm shaking the table.
Yep.
So, and then it was difficult. You can hear him talk about it, but I think it was something they needed to do. And then I think with the adding Tobias Harris, that was a huge move.
That was a big move.
It was a huge move, and it adds another scorer from the outside who doesn't need the ball.
Yep.
You don't have to call plays for him. He's a trash. I don't take this the bad way. He's a trash player. He gets dirty buckets, and he finds his way open. You don't have to call plays for him, but he can still give you, 15 to 20 points a game.
Yep.
And he plays D. So I think that helps out where JJ Redick doesn't have to handle the load in the 3-point shooting aspect of things, because obviously Ben Simmons can't shoot. If you saw the Laker game the other day, LeBron was not even guarding this guy. Dude, you can shoot whenever you want, and just like he get the ball, he just goes stand next to the bucket.
He was just leaving him out.
You know, but I think the key is what really helped them out.
I'm gonna do a Snapchat for y'all.
But I think the key is what really was good for Philly was what they added on the bench. Mike Scott from Atlanta. That was a key because he's another dirty guy. He's another inside guy that can shoot the jump shot but can battle and rebound, and he's a defensive guy. So I like what Philly has done. Next, I have Dallas.
Dallas did make some moves, and they are really trying to get Dirk his last run.
Well, his last run is not going to be in the playoffs, but
I'm just saying they're trying to give him his last run.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to keep him. Cuban has said he wants to keep Dirk in the organization in some aspect.
Yeah, he's always going to be a Maverick.
You know, when you got Porzingis now, who's always looked up to Dirk, and you still have Dirk in that tutelage type of role with Porzingis and with Dirk. Is it Dirkic? Or is Dirkic in Denver?
No, Dirkic is
Dirkic. I mean, because you got so many. You got so many.
Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic. Not Dan Doncic.
Yeah, Luka
Doncic. You know, the foreign guy.
That guy.
That guy. You know, so and Dirk can give them that tutelage from being a foreign player, you know, and a veteran, and you know he can help those guys grow.
Yep.
And I think it's a good move. I'm anxious to see the other pieces that Cuban is going to do in the offseason. You know what I mean? You got a rim blocker in DeAndre Jordan. You got, you know what I mean, a prototype Kevin, like a follower of the Kevin Durant, Nowitzki type of deal with Porzingis, and then you got Doncic, who's Dirk, whatever his name is clearly the rookie. Yeah, who's clearly Luka. I'm just going to call him Luka, who is clearly the rookie of the year.
Yeah,
I would clearly the rookie of the year.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of surprised he's not the outside fourth person for MVP.
I don't see why he couldn't be.
He couldn't be.
But well, the league looks at it as Dallas is not a contender, so they're not going to give it to an MVP on that team.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But if you look at it, the top three contenders for the MVP right now are all defensive players, and Mr. John Wayne was nice enough to post on the page that Harding does play defense.
He does play defense.
He does play defense, folks.
Defense.